to show you my end of June food forest and what it looks like. I was going to just post it, but I figured I'd go live instead. I've never done a live on here, so I am going to flip this around. Ignore the pond is off right now, and it's just because the electric just came back on, so it'll get working here in a second. So I planted some flowers that I got from a local shop around here. These are brand new, so they're not doing so good yet, but they'll get it. We added some trellises here. So if you go to the other side of the fence, you can see my grow right over the chicken moat. And I did the same thing on the other side. I also got a delivery of some wood chips that I'm hopefully going to get a chance to spread at some point. This here is my Red Haven peach. It's looking quite large at this point. I've got my comfrey growing underneath it, and I'll go over that way in a minute. So let's start over here. So again, I have my flowers here. I've got some beans growing up this. This is an old like Coleman tent trellis. And we've got broccoli, which I've never really grown successfully, so I'm not sure if it's doing so good, but we'll see. We've got a sunflower here popping up. That's a volunteer from last year. I've got some flowers here. You see a lot of weeds right now. Working on that a little bit more tomorrow. I just planted these. These are tomatillos, I think. And we've got nasturtium growing over here. I just planted a couple cucumber plants. I've got another nasturtium that was just a recent transplant, so it's still doing its thing. I've got a couple plants here. The pond. I'm wondering if the water is going to come on here soon. Let's his up here. And more weeds. Okay, so these are, I think, cantaloupe. Let's see. Yeah, these are cantaloupe. So they're starting to grow a little bit. I'm trying to keep most of this empty. I'm going to start weeding here a little bit. But I was hoping the nasturtium and the beans would kind of grow over a little bit and provide a canopy, which would be fun for the kids to play in. But we'll see. I've got some lavender here. It's pretty small. Connection's not great out here. So I've got tomatoes here. I need to trellis these. I've got the wood for it. I just haven't started. I've got parsley. Again, that's chamomile. My piles of weeds, oregano. This is a pear tree here. More basil, more tomatoes. Tomatoes. We got some larger strawberry plants here on the ground. The big lime green plant is hyssop, and right next to it is a cherry bush. Behind it, lots of weeds back there, but this right here growing is loofah, and that will start to take over pretty quickly. This was doing really good until a couple days ago, and I think the one little pear that's on it is kind of weighing it down. So I'm going to have to maybe give it a little extra support if I want it to not be tipped over here. And underneath it, I've got oregano growing. Okay, let's see. Do I have anything else here? I'm trying to think. Sometimes I pop things in weird spots. So let's see. As you can see, I try to plant strawberry plants here and there. These are ground cherries, I think. I've got another horseradish growing back here. Now, if you remember, I've done a lot of pictures and videos, and that right there is a horseradish plant that's really kind of started to take over. So I'm hoping this one will grow as well. I try to plant some herbs underneath the apple trees. That's sage over there, and I've got a bunch of weeds as well. I'm going to go back to the pavers out here because my kids help me weed, and I don't want them stepping on things. That is a plant. Don't ask me. Dahlia, maybe? I'm not sure. I'm really bad with the flower names, but except for lavender, it's my favorite. I think more parsley or celery or something. More flowers. Herbs. I think that's a cherry bush. St. John's wort, I believe. Maybe more hyssop. I'm not sure. So I've got a bunch that I have to identify repeatedly because I can never remember what everything is. So I've got corn here. These are a plant that spread, and I forget the name, but they are apparently an edible plant that I am forgetting. And I've got some dill growing over here that's gone to seed. Celery or parsley here. I'm trying to remember what everything is. Hyssop, didn't plant that. Don't know why it's over here, but it kind of does its own thing. I think this is milkweed, which is pretty exciting because I planted all these seeds and nothing's really come up from. I planted a lot of milkweed seeds, and I don't know where they all went. Marigolds along the edge here, which I find really easy to grow. I've got more corn coming up. I'm gonna step over here. As you can see, these ones were started from seedlings that I grew inside my little makeshift greenhouse, but these are babies that I planted in the ground. And you can see I got more marigolds on the side here. Try not to step on anything that's not a weed. I'm very, very hopeful I'll get some good corn this year because this will be the first year I think I have enough protection from the deer. I've got a couple watermelon plants that aren't doing super great over here, but I'm still hoping they'll come up. I have got a number of plants that I bought at the local place. Parsley, maybe? This is all thistle, the spiky stuff in between. There's my elderberry again. And this is an apple tree that was actually on site when I bought the house. I put the garden around it knowing that I wanted a food forest. These are sweet potato slips, or sweet potatoes, I guess. So I'm hoping those will grow. I don't know anything about growing sweet potatoes, so this was the first year trying that. Sometimes I just wing it and put it in the ground because I got cheap seedlings and I learned something new that year. Occasionally I get lucky and it's really easy. So most of this here is corn, of course, intermixed with some weeds. Try not to step on anything. I've got, these are pawpaws right here. This is annoying. This is invasive. What is it called? Oh my God, my brain's not working today. I forget what it's called, but it's everywhere. It's really hard to pull up because the roots are just very, very difficult to get up out of the ground. So, and that is it. I think I've got a few lavender plants planted here and there that haven't really taken off. They're still pretty small, so probably not going to see them very well. But yeah, that's what I've got going on. So I'm pretty excited. I love sitting out here. Usually the pond is going, but our electric went out a little while ago. So yeah, but oh, and that's elderberry. I think that's just a volunteer. I'll probably have to cut that down because I don't want that getting as high as the other ones on this side. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. I'll try to do another tour at some point, maybe in July. Hopefully we'll have more to see. But as you can see, I'm pretty excited. My grapes are all coming in this year. These are year 3, I believe, for my grapes, and finally getting some good ones. And this whole bush is like really covered with them. So my kids will be excited. They're more grape people than I am. I like jelly. Not much into. I like grape juice too as well, but I don't like eating grapes by themselves. But you can see they're kind of going crazy here. So pretty exciting stuff. I love doing this every year and seeing what comes up. So anyways, I hope this tour was helpful. Have a great day. Take care.